Beatstar peeps, it's finally time for my Season 8 review video. Well, actually it was time like 3 weeks ago, but there's been a lot going on. You know the drill by now. I'll go over each new song and give my thoughts and a letter grade for each one, then end with touching on a few other changes from this update. Season 8 is called Summer Daze, and as always we're looking at 9 new songs here. The spread this time is 4 normals, 4 hards, and 1 extreme, which is probably the best spread we'll get until they drop a 9 extreme song season, which I'm sure is coming any day now. First up for the normals is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, the song you either love or hate but have definitely heard 100 million times. As far as popularity goes, this song obviously fits the Beatstar criteria perfectly. However, it doesn't really lend itself to a great chart. If it was all charted perfectly to the vocals, we'd have a mess like Chandelier, and this is certainly a step up from that. This one just doesn't feel great. The chart is awkward in parts, the sync is drifty, especially in the final stage, the vocals hang a bit, which makes it all feel even worse. Crazy is going to get a C from me. Besides the popular song choice, I can't praise this one too much. Next up is Dear Maria, Count Me In by All Time Low. Big fan of this genre, it's generally energetic and fits well into the game. This chart's pretty good, but upon further inspection from my sight read, I found some notes that stray harshly from the vocals. We're not talking about chart ruining mistakes here, but they're definitely easy to mess up and feel awful to play, but besides those few goofs, it's a fun normal chart with a lot of tiles. I think a B+ is appropriate here. I don't think this normal stands out too much, but it's still fun enough and is probably a beloved addition for a lot of players. Moving on to Vertigo's theme song, we've got He's the Greatest Dancer by Sister Sledge. Has anyone else noticed how like 75% of the recent season and event songs have been yellow/orange colored? This song is not as instantly recognizable as We Are Family, but this was still a huge hit back in the late 70s, early 80s. This chart is tricky, it's vocal driven and difficult, but it's not as sloppy feeling as some of the earlier vocal charts. Still, this is not an easy normal song to score highly on and takes a lot of focus to nail all the tough rhythms. This one gets a B. While this may not be the most fun normal song, it's at least unique and represents that era of music well. The last normal of the season is Thunderclouds by LSD. My opinion on this hasn't changed since the season first dropped. The song is fine, it's just kind of uninteresting. I've seen a lot of people talk about vibing with this one, so I may have the unpopular opinion here. It's not bad by any means, it just doesn't stand out to me at all. Sia's verse in the end is my favorite part of the song, but as a whole the song feels very meh. The chart's about the same, it's again not bad, and it fits the slow, easy pace of the song well. Not sure there's much else they could have done with the chart here, and it fills the slot for token easy song of the season. Also giving Thunderclouds a B, there's nothing wrong with the song choice or chart at all, but it just doesn't have any bit of spark for me to earn a higher rank. Moving on up to the hards, our first one is Chocolate by the 1975. I'd never heard of them until Beatstar, but man, big fan. This song is so catchy and uplifting. One of those songs where you can instantly tell just from the music what the chart is going to look like, and it turned out just how you'd expect. Probably my favorite swing chart currently in the game, it's just the right difficulty and executed perfectly. Easy S here, absolutely deserving of a top tier ranking, and I know a ton of players who love this one just as much as I do. Back to our orange color scheme with Move Your Body by Own Boss and Sevik. This song gives me old electronic vibes, but this was just released in 2021. I don't dislike the song, it's just overwhelmingly generic electronic music in my opinion. I think Beatstar could really benefit from more music like this though, so I'm glad to see more representation from this genre recently. The chart's pretty good. It follows the feel of the music well and has some clever uses of swipes to accentuate sounds. It's an easy hard chart, and it's in the right place, I think. This is another one that I've seen very positive opinions on, as well as a lot of players getting it for an early hard diamond perfect. Going to give this one an A. It's not an electronic song I'd have picked for Beatstar, but they certainly made the most of it, and I don't think there's really anything else to complain about. Slightly adjusting our orange tone, next up is Murder, She Wrote by Chakademus and Pliers. This song is a freaking banger, man, just jam out to this one so hard. The song is so rhythmically fluid, it's constantly changing and just makes for a fantastic choice for a rhythm game. The chart is equally excellent, only a few minor things I'd have changed if I made this myself. It follows the music well, the patterns are fun, and it's a moderate challenge to read all the rhythms correctly. Giving this an S as well. I don't think it's as strong of an S as Chocolate, but I was really impressed with this one and it checks all of the boxes for a great addition. Please, be seated if you aren't already. I'm about to discuss something sickening and viewer discretion is strongly advised. This last month with the release of Season 8 came a terrible, ominous presence. If chills ran down your spine as you updated your game, this is the reason why. On July 28th, 2022, the song Thrift Shop was added to Beatstar. Along with the song, which is admittedly ultra popular and pretty catchy, came a chart straight from the depths of hell. I know what you're probably thinking. Ben, this song is pretty fun, I like it, I got a diamond on this easily. If this is you, then praise your sweet innocent soul, because this is one of those songs where the difference between a few perfects and a diamond perfect is the Grand Canyon. The chart was made to follow the vocals, except Macklemore is no Eminem and raps all over the place with all the rhythms. I get what the chart author was trying to do, and to be fair, this was no easy task. However, what was spawned was a putrid, soul-consuming abomination of a chart that sucked at least 10 years off my life. I'm going to give Thrift Shop a horrible guttural scream, which is the nicest thing I can say about this one. Lastly, we look at this season's Extreme Overdrive by Metric and Graphics, not to be confused with Martin Garrix of Animals. Yes, please put more drum and bass into Beatstar, this song freaking rules. The chart is also fantastic. When I hear this kind of song, I want to make something obscenely difficult, but this chart is very controlled and methodical. This one is a little polarizing in terms of how people view its difficulty. For most of the players at the top end, including myself, it's very easy in both clearing and scoring. However, many players have a lot of trouble comfortably clearing this one. It has a lot of taps and dense sections with 8s and doubles and swipes thrown in. I can easily see why so many players struggle with this, but I think a lot of the issue here is a lack of similarly charted easier songs that players can build up this skill set with. This is very typical stuff for other rhythm games, which probably explains why a lot of the veterans sail so smoothly through this chart. This one will be the third S of the season, which is again an easy call. Banger song, beyond excellent chart. So after checking in on each of these new songs, I feel like this season as a whole was extremely hit or miss, much more so than most seasons so far. The highs, like Overdrive and Chocolate, soared to the top of my list of favorite songs, while the lows, well, I think you know how I feel about them by now. Still, this was an overall great season, just a little more up and down than most, but the ups comfortably carry the weight here. Besides the new songs, there were a few other season-related changes this time around. First, it appears Space Ape is trying out dropping the cost of this season's premium pass from $15 to $10 US. I'm not exactly sure how this was changed in other currencies, but it's a huge discount here. While this seems like a clear positive, it came with two changes to balance it out. Free players are now back to receiving only one free song for the season, which gives these players next to zero incentive to care about leveling their tour pass. Additionally, the length of the season was shortened by a week, though eventually extended by 5 extra days. Assuming this new structure continues, it seems like seasons will now last 3 weeks instead of 4. These changes were definitely aimed at making the free pass less appealing and the premium pass more appealing, but we'll have to see what Space 8 makes of their feedback and data. Personally, I am all for this change, though I think the 2 free songs is a necessity that should not be removed. Having the second free song unlocked at Tour Pass level 30 is undoubtedly a big driving force for a lot of free players and needs to stay. The price reduction is fantastic and is what a lot of players have been asking for since the very beginning of the Tour Pass system. The season length is also welcome, as I at least feel like the seasons drag on towards the end after most players race to unlock things early. So there we are, my not the slightest bit late review of Season 8. We're now less than 24 hours away from Season 9 dropping, so I'll be back in roughly 14 years with my Season 9 review video. Thanks as always to my wonderful Patreon donors and subscribers. I'll be back very soon with the Season 9 DP videos out as quickly as I possibly can. And until then, I'll see you on the internet.